This is Ogdowski of wearechange.org. I am here with the one and only Richard Gage of Architects and Engineers. Now, Richard made a lot of news last week when you made a flyer that was very similar to the flyer that this 9/11 corporate museum was giving out behind us. You got a lot of media attention, but can you tell us why did you decide to make a very similar flyer that the 9/11 museum was giving out, but actually putting information about questions about 9/11 in there?
Well, we noticed that the official museum flyer had no information about the controlled demolition of these three skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Well, we noticed that it had no information about the nanothermite found in the World Trade Center dust, or the free fall of World Trade Center 7 symmetrically into its own footprint the afternoon of 9/11 due to, quote, normal office fires. So we thought that an unofficial brochure would fit the bill. And so we made it very similar, deceptively similar, admittedly, to the official brochure, and we've been handing out now 4,000 here at the World Trade Center at the grand opening of this beautiful museum, which enshrines the official story in a sense of sacredness, actually a pathological sacredness that keeps people from even being willing or able to ask these very serious questions anymore. So we're very concerned.
Now, a lot of people, who are critical, and especially in the mainstream media, say that you're a conspiracy theorist, that you're just making things up. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and why it's not a conspiracy theory to you?
Well, I've never been an activist before, and we're just talking about scientific forensic evidence, eyewitness testimony, video evidence. So I don't know why everybody, not everybody, but the mainstream media and those people who just don't want to exercise their brain cells to look at the evidence, it's just so much easier, I think, for them to stay in denial, stay in their well-defined box that has the official story understood, but can't deal with the scientific forensic evidence. So we turn their world upside down when they really start listening, like my world was, and probably your world was when we first looked at this evidence.
Now, Architects and Engineers is, to me, one of the most credible groups that are asking real legitimate questions about the events of 9/11. Tell us a little bit more about Architects and Engineers.
Well, we now have 2,100 architects and engineers demanding a real investigation of the destruction of all three of these World Trade Center skyscrapers. These are technical and building professionals. They don't have conspiracy theories. I don't have conspiracy theories. What we do have is a host of evidence. I mean, we're talking about high-rise architects, structural engineers, metallurgists, chemists, physicists, controlled demolitions experts, all gathered onto one place, the video, the DVD, 9/11 Explosive Evidence Experts Speak Out, where all this evidence is laid out and people just can't refute it. It's really irrefutable.
Yeah. Now, you not only bring together architects and engineers in this field, but also survivors, family members, rescue workers, a lot of people who were affected, like Janet McKinley, rest in peace, who was, living down here, was able to give you some of the dust samples, and you guys were able to test it and find out all sorts of things that open up so many doors and so many questions that still have yet to be answered. But it still seems like this issue is just mocked. Recently on CNN, Jake Tapper came out and said anybody questioning this, supposedly protesting, he called it protesting. Meanwhile, what you're doing down here is just giving out information and talking to people in a polite, tone. He said that anybody questioning the official events is crazy, is delusional, and is not in their right mind. What response do you have to Jake Tapper?
That is the problem. We can't ask questions anymore. Ben Franklin said it's our patriotic duty to ask questions, and it's the duty of the government and the media to ask questions and to provide answers. We're asking real questions, but instead of looking at the questions we're asking, instead of looking at the evidence that we're offering, that we have questions about, we're being labeled conspiracy theorists. Oh my God, and it gets worse. Anti-Semitic, where does that come from? Yeah. We're not even talking about who may have been responsible or what happened. We're talking about what happened, not who may have been responsible. We have scientific forensic evidence that begs the question, how really did these towers come down? They couldn't have come down due to jet plane impacts and jet fuel and gravitational collapse, because of the evidence of thermite, the evidence of pulverized concrete, the evidence of molten iron, the evidence of thermite in small iron microspheres, and the evidence of the videos just themselves coming down at 12 seconds, near free fall acceleration, straight down, and then an incredible geometry of fireworks, outward, laterally ejected, freely flying structural steel sections.
Yeah. So if you could say anything to Jake Tapper, what would it be right now? Put you on the spot there.
Yeah. Jake, I agree with Rudy Dent of the Fire Department of New York. You need a real job. Get yourself some integrity. Go and work at McDonald's. You'll have a lot more integrity there. We need people at CNN who are going to ask questions, who are going to demand answers. We need people who don't parrot the official line, who don't mock their interviewees by calling them all different kinds of names without even looking at what they're saying.
Yeah. And just so people know, Rudy Dent is a firefighter that we just interviewed. That video will be out later, and he also has a special message to Jake Tapper. Richard, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, people need to do something with this evidence that we provided in our DVD, in our brochures, on our website, ae911truth.org. We need to get it to every architect, engineer we can find, every media official, every elected official, everybody that we know, because we may not have a lot of time left. If they provided one 9/11, we're quite concerned, as we've been promised yet another one, what the heck that might be. Yeah. So we need to all act fast while we can.